a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up? Welcome in to Pregaming here at Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. You already know. We go after this thing and try to stack this cash, beat these bookies, work together to grow our bankrolls. And it's been a busy day, cold day across the country here, sitting at 14 degrees right now. And everything's just a little slower in the cold. Just a little less time to get everything done because it's so cold. Gotta be mindful of frostbite. And I'm behind. I'm behind. It has nothing to do with frostbite, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So bear with me for just a moment while I get this thing wrapped up for us here, because I love the card that we have in store tonight. We've got some intersecting zeros. We've got some scheduling spots. We've got a little bit of variety of everything. We've got some parlays with some big hits. And what else do we have? Bunch of teas today. A bunch of teams with the teas today. On some conflicting spots as well. Still trying to navigate the NBA in a cautious mode. Them players don't want to play. It's hard for me to try to get fired up to go make bets. It's that simple. It's that simple. But I think we've got some really good spots tonight, and maybe some opportunities for you guys to player prop some standalone opportunities just based on some of the breakdowns that we'll get into. And because I'm behind, no graphics tonight, just this lovely placeholder with this greenish hue that I have. But you'll see the NHL. We've got 3 games covered in the NHL. I might even just rapid fire a couple other spots that I really like in the NHL for you guys. Some spots where I have some cash on them, or they're tied to parlays, but not the ones that I kind of thought were the best bets here that I share with you guys on a daily basis. Then we're going to roll into college hoops. We've got Mississippi State, Tennessee, excuse me. Then we're going to get into Indiana State and Illinois State. Yeah, the battle of state. Then we'll roll off Mizzou and Texas. We'll bring it home with 2 NBA games. You know, I heard Ramon say it this morning. I agree. The NBA slate was tough. The NBA slate, when we're looking at this thing, look, who wants to lay double-digit favorites? You got 10.5 on the Trailblazers against the Heat. How can you not take the Trailblazers? The Heat are at home. They shouldn't be laying 10.5. We've been fading them in those positions, but it's the Blazers. You got 12.5 with the Nets and the Knicks. We saw the Nets put up, 67 points just a couple games ago. How do you not look at the under? We got 12s on the Sixers and the Nuggets. You want to put a 12-pack down for the Nuggets at home? And then we got 13.5 on the Wizards against the Lakers. It's an ugly card. But I think we got some really nice plus money spots to attack on that. Then we'll get going and see if we can't share those player props as well, because I think there's a couple sneaky ladder opportunities out there as well. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And what else we got going on? Well, geez, how can we not forget the national championship that was last night? Almost got a little backdoor cover action. Almost got that backdoor cover with them Notre Dame boys. But college football is in the books. Notre Dame loses to Ohio State. You guys saw it. You guys have probably been hearing about it all day. They had one drive that ate up the entire first quarter. And then they drove back at the end of the game and tried to get the W, and they couldn't get her done. But there were some great live betting opportunities within there. We had a big live stream last night, so shout out to all the fellas that joined us on the live stream. It was a ton of fun. We had all the boys assembled and ready to roll with the basketball stuff, with the basketball crew, as we do what we do and keep her moving. So how about us? How about us in the bookies last night? We took them down. We had a 6-2 day against the bookies yesterday. Yeah, it was a big one. No jokes, no frills, just fun cashing bets. And we cashed a whole bunch of them. We start off and look, we lost a Notre Dame spot at plus 9.5. They lost the game by 11. We lost the Chicago Blackhawks parlay with the over 5.5 at plus 530 because they lost in the shootout. So, aside from that, we were dialed in. Spot on. We needed to get past that ugly week that was prior. We crushed a Toronto spot against Tampa Bay. 5-3. Toronto gets the win. Chicago Blackhawks plus 1.5. I told you guys that spot there. Little plus 1.5, and then we took the gamble with the over, which did cash as well. Probably should have just had the plus 1.5. Probably should have the plus 1.5 in the over, and then the money line standalone, because that would have been a nice big payday for us. But we got the Utah Jazz. Whoa. Utah Jazz ain't winning shit. Plus 154 for the Utah Yeti. They busted up the Winnipeg Jets. Remember, I might have been the only person on the planet talking about the Yeti yesterday. Maybe. Go back and check tape. Go back and look at Twitter. Check it all out. A lot of our friends all on that Winnipeg Jets side. It was not a Winnipeg Jets spot. Not just easy to say afterwards. I gave you guys the reason, the rationale behind it, and it was on our Sharp Chasers report. We went through college hoops, swept the board there, a little 3-0. Arkansas Pine Bluff, under 154.5. That game went under by almost 20 points. Florida A&M. I was laughing because I was thinking about how we just dogged these teams yesterday. And Mississippi Valley. But that one went under by 1.5. I think what's impressive is we talked about the Arkansas Pine Bluff spot being a 10-pointer advantage, and they almost got the 20 for us. And then last but not least, we closed the day off. NCAA. They lose to Hampton. 74-73, but they cover our plus 2.5, and that's how we get paid. So that was a lot of fun to get through that card yesterday. I loved it. We were sitting on the stream, and it felt like Ramon was my hype man. It's like, Mike, you got another winner. We needed it, man. We needed it after the previous week. So just like that, we closed the gap that was last week, made it back, and then some, and we're firing away now this week. That's the way it goes, boys and girls. The highs and lows of this thing if you're doing it on a daily basis. So let's do just that. It's time for us to get to work. And it always starts out most important, paramount for this whole thing is helping grow this network. All the fellas, guys and girls watching in the chat, it's important that you guys take the time to hit that thumbs up button for us. That's how YouTube promotes us. They say you like what you're seeing. And then they go tell other people that might like what you're seeing. And that's how we all grow. More plays, more bets. More sharp cappers assembling right here in the best place to do it with the best damn chat in the universe at Sports Money. So make sure you take a second, close the chat, hit the thumbs up, then pop the chat back open. We'll go to work. How about that? How about that deal? Let's go. All right. It's time for us to get to the business of getting this money. You guys know the deal. Get your pen and paper out. I say the best chat in the business. I'm not making it up. Look at them. Look at you guys. We've been working together since October of 2023, looking at trends, cash flow, angles. Nobody does it better than we do it. We leverage experience, tools, technology, put it all together. Come up with a tripod approach to supporting your bankrolls. How about that? Truth be told, nobody does it better. God damn it. We look at the first lines, not the middle lines, the first ones, the ones that hit the street. That's where everybody screws up. Right off the gate, that's where they screw up. And now you're using bad information. You can't make good information. You can't make good decisions if you start with bad information. Unless you're lucky. And I'm not that lucky. So, that being said, share your best bets in the chat. Let's see what you guys are on. Let's talk about them. Let's go down the horn and let's look at these plays that are out there. I appreciate all you guys coming in here, rocking with us. It's that time, man. We've been marinated on this card all day long. It's time to get to work. And we've got commenter numero uno. We'll give him the 99.4% first comment ratio. Got them Badgers. Got them Wisconsin Badgers, a +4. He likes the Sharks and Predators at over 6. And you got it at even money. Okay. Over. J-Ove. He was rocking with us last night. Squares in the house. Let's go. Nicholas Handy, Robert McCormick, J-Man. I appreciate all you guys coming in here on the regular. Rick J says, who did the intro? I did the intro, Rick J. I did it. Myself. Me. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you like it. And if not, fill out the comment card. We're just out of comment cards. Dana Delp's rocking with us. Stop Geoengineer. J-Man. We're 3-0 ATS versus East on the road this year. 2-1 to the over. Heat 7-2 to the over versus the West this year. There's some stats, boys and girls. That's what I'm talking about. J-Main did the research. He's coming in ready to go. You know, you think about it. J-Main, shout out to you, my friend. If every one of us, and I know sometimes shit happens. We don't all have the time to do it. But if every one of us came in here with just one nugget to share, just one, can you imagine how much more insightful we would be when it comes to successful? Come on, forget about it. Let's go. Subhuman Gaucho's here. Says, good evening, gang. He was rocking the Champions League this afternoon. Sub, we're going live tomorrow. Champions League. Champions League action at 3 p.m. There's a special little update for you guys. We're going to bet it. We might as well sweat it together with anybody that is available to join us. I know easier said for some than others, but still a pretty good card. So we thought it was a good time to attack it. And you know, the last time we attacked it, last time Sub and I got on the live stream with you guys for soccer, what were we like, 15-2 or something collectively? It was stupid. It was stupid. I've already started doing some research. I'm ready for it. Sub, appreciate you, my dude. Chris Dellen wants to drill. Drill, baby, drill. We're drilling. Jay Peasy's in the house, trying to decide if the Stars or Rangers is the better bet or not. I would say the Rangers. And I would say the Stars. Why choose? Why not just parlay them both, Jay Peasy? Why not just parlay them both? Joe Dubs in the house. Rick J. Better luck with totals. Knights killed my parlay yesterday. Yeah, man. There are a lot of people on them Knights. And of course, we'll stick them in regulation to get the juice down. Let's go, Jay Main. Team Moss says, good evening, gang. Time to get that money. Appreciate Team Moss rolling back in. There's Keith. Every stride's rocking with us. AOD's here, ready to go. My brother from another mother. Peter Gracia, he's rocking. Appreciate you guys, man. Let's go. Time to get this cash. Patrick the Groovy Alien likes Texas Tech, Tennessee. Light in the wood. Nasty Nate's reminding everybody to kindly smash the like button. We won't stop, says Mikey. Utah Hockey Club money, like, what? Only people on it, man. Right here. Right here. Right here. Chris Brogan says, DraftKings says plus 150 goal score boost. Got to pick. Yeah. I made a goal scoring bet with my boost. Let me see who I picked. So I'm sick. I got this sickness. And you're not going to win a $65,000 bet if you don't keep trying every single day at it for a couple dollars. So I do that every day when it comes to these lengthy NHL cards. I fire down the line of goal scorers. But I took Patrick Laine. That was my anytime goal scorer. So yes, I'll tell you, I went Laine. However, my 700-1 is Panarin, Laine, Morgan Frost, Steve Stamkos, Jason Robertson, and Troy Terry. Hey, I hope I win it. They're fun little spots. They're little scratchers, little scratch-offs. You take a little scratcher, see if you can't make some cash. Let's go, Joe T. This is community tab poll record. Took a loss. It was close, though. It was close. 51 to 49%. It was close. But excellent note. And thanks, Rick Jason. The intro's fire. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. I didn't write the song. The song was out there, obviously. But I put the background together. Okay. AOD wants the outro at the end. Now, JPZ gave us the outro at the end of this thing, so we can put that together for you boys and girls. No problem. There's my guy Coin. This is Toronto. First half under 109. I love it. Love Toronto under 2,000. I love it. Dallas money. I love it. Coin, you're going to have a big night, my friend. I feel it. Feel it for you, my guy. Some can't wait for the live stream. Got to put the research in tonight. Data Dup says Iowa -8. Sure, they are glad to be home. Kelly D. Watch the last team's favorite NHL NBA peepers for late dogs. Something noticed. Can someone tell me why the Flyers are favorite? Because Detroit is bad. Stern Company says, no, it counts. Peter Grassi says, soiled alert. If you hit the like button on the way in, you don't get reprimanded. Shout out to SB Patrick the Groovy Alien, like at VCU and Texas Tech Moneyline. Spoiler alert. Okay. And Kelly V says, Mikey said, look for Phil to win as a city ready for the NFL. Whole city rocking. You know that's a big deal. You know it's a big deal. How about this? The biggest bet I think I saw that was put out there thus far from Sportsbook Alerts. Somebody put $1.3 million on Kansas City to win on the money line. Early action. Some joker falling into the trap line. That being said, the most rushing yards on a player prop in the history of DraftKings, Saquon Barkley at over 130 and a half. That's lofty. What else? Most expensive ticket in the NFC Championship history. The Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders. I hope they bring back the Redskins name. Fuck this Commanders nonsense. Redskins wasn't offensive. It was recognizing a person. I mean, I guess it's up to the people want him back though. The people want the name back. Stupid. It's so stupid. Anyhow, I digress. What are we doing? Let's get to work. Let's make some money. I told you guys, unfortunately, I am behind today. A lot of snow. Had to get the blower going. Had to get the neighbor's driveway as well. Oh man, lots of stuff going on. Doesn't matter. Okay. The Flyers and the Red Wings pop off here at 7 p.m. The afternoon or the evening special, a little ESPN Plus action between these two teams. And so let's approach it. Let's talk about it. Collectively, we can share together. Why are they a favorite? Well, one, Alex Leon is in goal. He's no good. Second, Sammy Erson's in goal on the other side for the Flyers. He is good. And you had the Red Wings that kind of reached for their potential. That 7-game win streak. After they got that 7 games, they checked out. They're waiting for the Four Nations tournament now. That's the next big break. They're just done. 0-2, outscored 9-2 in that 2-game stretch. Now they're going to go on the road. You could say it's a revenge spot for Leon. He was tossed to the curb like a piece of dog shit from the Philadelphia Flyers. And look, 4 goals on 25 shots his last go out there against the Dallas Stars was a 4-1 loss. You're not going to win if you can't score and your goalie can't stop the puck. That's my assessment. On the flip side, the Flyers are getting hot again. 2-game winning streak. You know, this is it. This is just you talk about experience and expertise, and no disrespect to anybody that's kind of getting into gambling for the first time, but I've been a hockey fan my whole life. I've been betting on hockey for probably, I don't know, minimum 30 years. Minimum. That's what I mean experience. We're not seeing things for the first time. And what I'll tell you about that when it comes to the Flyers, every single season, they're fighting till the end. This is where I say they're too stupid, right? They're too stupid to know to roll the fuck over and get a better draft pick. But they will fight till the end. They will battle probably with the Rangers to get that last wild card position and make it into the playoffs or get eliminated and have a terrible draft pick. That's the Flyers' history. This is the time of year I point that out because this is where they start going on that uptick. Some years they start out firing right off the gate and then they just have the bottom fall out but they fight till the end, and Tortorella's not going to let these guys not fight either. They're also taking pucks from the goaltender, meaning they're using their body to block shots like the playoff team should. Erson had 12 of 13 shots against the Devils. It was a 3-1 win. Only 13 shots found the goaltender. That's it. And now we got this Red Wings team that can't score and a Flyers team that's not letting the puck find the goal to begin with. That's why the Flyers are the favorite price that they are. That's why we're backing the Flyers in this game. And that's why I think it's an opportunity for us to get to the window. I don't like the price. I got a little pricey, but it's the ceiling for me. They also seem to own these teams, these two teams, when they play back and forth. It does seem to be, especially in Philadelphia, more more Philly favorable position, but probably a tight game, probably a lower scoring game. But look, when Flyers are in the favorite role, they win. They're 10-3. When they're marked as a favorite, they're a favorite for a reason. We just went through all the reasons behind it. I think it's a great opportunity for us to pull the trigger. And I wouldn't think twice about it. I think it's pretty good. And by the way, if you needed one more reason, when you have two shit teams is defined by they missed the playoffs the previous year, the favorite wins. 130-84 on a healthy little 3-game win streak as well. And the Flyers just beating everybody up right now. Jersey, Isles. They did lose to Columbus, but that was that revenge bounce back spot. Florida, Anaheim. I mean, they've been on fire in the month of January, and this is their time of year. So get ready. I think they probably have a little playoff potential in their future, but should be a good Flyers spot out there. Joe T says 7 of the last 10 have gone over in the first period. I don't know tonight. We won't stop since I've been tailing your hockey picks. Took me out of a bit. Oh, man, I love hearing that. Well, I don't love hearing that you're in the hole. We won't stop, but look, we made a lot of hockey fans last year. I can't tell you. I love hearing it. I love hearing it, man. We all deserve to have some nice things here and have a little backbone, a little something that we can count on. I remember hearing it a lot last year. Oh, this got me, that got me, the other thing got me, but hockey was getting us good. And let's go on. Let's keep her going. Let's keep this good thing moving. Let's go. I'll tell you what I'll do here. What do we got? All these, I got to make the font bigger. I got to do myself a favor. Very going to read it. The Lightning in the Canadian spot. I like the under in this game. There's two teams that fall under this criterion. Basically, it just has to do with teams that take penalties, that have less than 3 days rest. Tighten up the following game. 181 and 250 to the under in those spots. Two teams fall under the criteria. The Lightning Canadians game, also, by the way, not really a decided edge. You'd have to go to the puck line. You'd have to take the Rangers puck line and the Canadians puck line in the spot for these two teams. But, think about it. You got penalties. You're not on extended rest where you got the rust. You stop taking penalties. You don't get chippy. You don't get sloppy and lazy. You just keep firing. And that's what they're going to do. And so the Canadians and Tampa spot does fit that criteria. However, the Rangers and the Islanders is the game that I wanted to look at. Goaltending-wise, if you think about it, Tampa and Montreal, Vasilevsky and Montembeault, it's the best two guys they've got in net. Vasilevsky's 20-13-2, 2.35 goals against average, 91.5% save percentage. Montembeault, good old Sammy, 2.98 with an 89.7% save percentage. I don't know. I struggle with this one because Tampa's coming back off that loss against Toronto. 5-3, we just talked about it. So they were scoring. There was that explosion of goals. We expected that game because it was a punt situation when they changed goaltenders. Now they're punching in Vasilevsky. Tail end of the back-to-back. I just thought there was a better spot to get involved with. Vasilevsky has been playing well. I mean, he played that shit Red Wings team that we just talked about. 5-1. They beat him. 39 saves on 40 shots. That's the difference right there. Remember we talked about Flyers getting in front of him, playing physical, taking pucks? Not Tampa. Tampa's just letting their guy get exposed. But that being said, the flip side of things with Montembeault, just kind of struggling to find his groove right now. I mentioned that 89.7% save percent. He's 16-16 on the season. I like what Ramon said earlier. I do that too. I drop off the draws a lot, or the regulation losses, or the overtime losses, excuse me. I guess it probably does tell more of a accurate depiction of the spot, but I don't know. Never found it to really. Does it matter that they lost in overtime? Should just count as a loss. I never liked that overtime loss rule, especially the shootout. Anyhow, I digress. The Ottawa Senators will go to Maryland, and the Rangers will go to Igor Shesterkin. And on the surface, yeah, there's got to be over. These guys got to get scoring goals. Why wouldn't you see them? Who the hell's Maryland? Well, let me tell you who he is. He's 6-2-1 with a 2.2 goals against average and a 91.7% save percentage. That's who he is. Fire. And 6 straight games with points. 5-0-1. Looking for something here as I'm talking with you guys. 5-0-1 in his last 6 starts. Senators are scrappy. But I think in this case here, 6-5 overtime game that they pick up over the Boston Bruins in his last go-round out should be a little bounce-back opportunity. I mean, they were comfortable putting him out there against the Bruins. No, it's not the Bruins of yesteryear, but still, it's the Bruins. There's a lot of history when you go into the arena, and they were comfortable putting him out there. He got roasted, got toasted. But, look, the other side of things, last time they played, it was 2-1. The Rangers and the Senators. Furthermore, on the Rangers side of things, they're on the uptick. Remember what I just said. This is the experience. Why is it the Rangers that'll be battling the Flyers for the postseason wildcard spot? Because it happens like 80% of the time over the last like 30 years. Maybe not quite that much, but now look, 5-0-3 are the Rangers in their last 8 games. So they got rid of Trouba. They re-signed Shesterkin. They get off that bullshit deal. Now they're back in the bullshit deal, meaning let me go try to bet on myself and reset the goaltending market. There was too much pressure. Guys weren't happy. They weren't feeling good with each other. Now they've turned the corner. Now they're on the uptick. So you got 2 teams that are battling potential playoff opportunities as well. And this just comes down to a situation where the Senators, they get on the road against the Eastern Conference. When they are on the road, they've had 8 straight unders. Shesterkin stepped up. He's playing better. 27 shots, 1-0 win against the Blue Jackets. He's on the up. When both goaltenders are on the up and you got a strong trend for the down, meaning the under, you got to go under. We talked about the road games for the Senators. This is a good one to take note of. When the Senators aren't a huge favorite, so anything less than minus 150. Doesn't matter if they're dog, just anything less than a minus 150. They're 24-9-4 to the under. They're an under team. Like it or love it. Like it or leave it. We're going to take the under. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to junder this one up. A little under 5.5. Hopefully I did. If I had a coin flip between the two, Jay Main says Tampa and Montreal, 5 straight overs. I get it. Since he has not scored over 70 points since before Christmas, Texas Tech by double digits. I like the under in that spot. 133.5. 133.5. Yeah. I look at the whole card. I got a whole sheet of spots that I wanted to get involved with. Okay. Third game on the docket tonight. We'll keep her moving. I added a spot. I didn't realize I added a spot. It's my fault. Now we'll talk about this spot and we'll talk about how to see it through in the next 3 games as well. But look, we're going back to Dallas and we got the Hurricanes and the Dallas Stars. And if you looked at the card today and the first thing that jumped out at you wasn't this under, then you haven't been paying attention. What do we know? The number 1 under team on the East Coast, Carolina. Probably second are the Islanders, maybe second, but Carolina. Central Division, Dallas and St. Louis. Pacific in the Northwest, you got the Winnipeg Jets. Those are your under teams. And when you see some of these matchups roll into town, you got to take advantage. You got the Stars have just 6 straight night games have gone under the total. They're an under team. They play defense. They got goaltending. Those are the factors that contribute here. And you get the 6s at reasonable price tags here. Carolina's going to roll out with Kochetkov. I should probably figure that one out. See him more often than I'd like to. 17-9-2. He's got a 2.52 goals against average and a 90.2% save percentage. Dallas, they're going to the Otter. Jake Ottinger, 23-10-1 with a 2.26 goals against average and a 91.4% save percentage. Other factors that contribute to unders. Goaltenders saving bucks. So when you start seeing these goaltenders north of 90% saving, they're not just serviceable, they're respectable or Vezina Trophy numbers. And like it or not, Jake Ottinger's pretty damn close to Vezina Trophy numbers. Coming off a phenomenal 33 of 34 shots against the Detroit Red Wings. Picked up the W. That shit Red Wings team. Soiling this NHL card tonight because they're involved in like every game that we've talked about so far. But that stink that is the 3-1-3 when it comes to the NHL, that carries, man. You got to air that shit out. And you're going to have this guy roll in here with a 23-10-1 record. I think the Stars are a great play on the card. I think you're getting them at a great price tag. But look, Carolina, overtime game. Offensively, I think it'll be a little bit sluggish. They barely beat that Blackhawks team. 4-3. Geez, that was a heartbreaker. But at the same time, I think it's just plain and simple. There's no sense to just dragging on to the fact that this is just an under. And again, these two teams, potential playoff battles are starting to form. We're in the second half of the season, boys and girls. That's where shit starts popping. Vasilevsky has been officially confirmed. Excuse me. Shout out to Nunya in the house. It was fun to see Nunya on the screen last night. Dana Delp likes Oregon minus 12.5. Robert Franklin, Nashville minus a half in the first period. Hopefully you guys took some Nashville futures. Hey, we do this. We were talking some Nashville, a month ago? A month ago. Let's go. Shout out to the RH32s in the house. Sir Mackey says that Barcelona comeback was wild. I was talking to Sub about that earlier. I looked and they were up, and I looked and I had to double check. Like, how are they down? And it was a multi-goal lead that they blew there at the end of that thing. It was crazy. Crazy. All right. The last game I got for you guys here, nothing on the docket from let's be honest. Somebody dropped the ball on the graphics in the first place. Capitals and the Oilers. Interesting play of the night tonight. So what do we know about the Oilers? Well, we know there's a big deal going on. A player you might have heard of by the name of Connor McDavid goes out there and cross-checks a player. Kind of it's like a hit on a defenseless receiver in the NFL, kind of. They kind of got intertangled at the end of that as well. Just it looked worse than I think it was. But they gave him a 3-game suspension. It starts today. So take out one of the most prolific goal scorers in the NHL. Just get him right out of the lineup. Now, how do you play that theory? Well, generally, the first game the star player's out, you play that team, generally. And then the other games, you fade them. So theoretically, the way you would play this is take Edmonton tonight, fade them the next 2 games, and then fade them that first game that they come back with Connor McDavid. Theoretically, that's what this theory says. Now, Capitals are busting teams up still. It's amazing. 12-2, their last 4 games. They're 4-0. They've been outscoring teams. They're 21-2-3 with Logan Thompson in goal. And he's playing elite. 2.09 goals against average, 92.5% save percentage. Other side of things. Stuart Skinner is going in goal. He's 18-10-3. 2.7 goals against average, a 90.1% save percentage. That makes me nervous. 2.7? You certainly don't want to be north of 2.5. That's a big factor. That just shows the lack of consistency. His 90.1% save percentage could be a demonstration that, hey, he's just out there getting a lot of pucks put on him. But the reality is when you're north of 2.5 goals against average on the average, you're not doing your job. He's not doing his job. He's got some wins. But that's why I say the theory versus practical and how this thing gets pushed back together. Reality is Washington Capitals are kicking the shit out of everybody. It blows me away. The Edmonton Oilers now, let's talk about how this does apply. Their scoring clearly goes down. First of all, they're 2.28 goals per game scored offensively when they have no Connor McDavid in the lineup. And that's not just 1 or 2 games that they're picking. There's been 135 games where that dude's not in the lineup in the sample. The Capitals allow only 2.45 goals per game on the season, on the road. That is the best in the NHL. So star player comes out, scoring goes down. Big sample. Capitals on the road ain't no bitches. They shut everybody down. And so now what are we looking at? The Oilers allow 2.74 goals per game. Scoring differential's tight. They are 13-8-2 to the unders this year when they're at home as well. And that's the way that I attack this one. I kind of rushed through that. I don't want to say I rushed through it, but the Dallas spot, I had a whole bunch of trends for you guys. On Dallas home unders, I'm just looking at this now. When it's on a 6, they're 10-2-3 to the under. Dallas home unders when they played good 500 teams, same situation. But anyways, scoring differential, ordinarily, in theory, I would say you go out there and you play Edmonton because it's the first game. The reality says, I'm taking the under 6, and I'll probably get in on some Capitals. Now, the Oilers have won, each of their last 7 games against teams that are on a winning streak. So they get rolling when they get rolling. When they got a good team coming into town, they don't just vaporize. But the Connor McDavid factor is big. So my best advice is to take Edmonton tonight and then look to fade their asses the next couple of games, the next 3 games particularly. And then we'll look at some circle spots on the calendars and see who the Oilers are playing in those spots. And that's going to be how we start to attack this unique situation that is the 3-game suspension for Connor McDavid. Hope that helps. Hopefully you guys get a little more insight than just here's my play. Just kind of looking and talking through some of the strategy and some of the theory that kind of goes into this stuff. But let's go. Onward and upward. Let's go to college hoops. What do we got? 3 games in college hoops? Yep. All right, let me get this thing moving here. Now, obviously, we look a little different when it comes to the NHL versus the NCAA and basketball in general. Like to use the market assessments for those data points that help us identify who's betting what, why, when, and how do the books react to it overall as a whole. 7 p.m. Mississippi State, Tennessee is a big one. The line opened at 8.5. It hasn't moved. However, 84% of the bets and 79% of the cash are on the Mississippi State side of things. What did we talk about yesterday? Public loves road dogs. And that's what we have. Plus 8.5 hasn't moved. The totals moved 5 full points from 137.5 to 142.5. Even see some 143.5s out there. Monster move. 57% of the bets and 56% of the cash to the over. Now, on the surface, 15-3 is Mississippi State. Tennessee is 16-2. I'll tell you right now, I don't know how you could look at the over in this game. This game could have 100 points, I guess, and on each side, and I still would say that you got to look to the under, especially when you got Tennessee at home. They love to control the ball. They are coming off a loss to Vandy on the road. I love to try to get involved with those teams when they're on those positions with the first half as well. I take this one a little different, though, because we do have Mississippi State taken to the road. Big win that just kind of came through their opportunity. We've got intersecting zeros. Mississippi State beats Mississippi 84-81. They don't cover. They haven't covered in their last 3. So as they get to familiar foes, conference play, they're struggling to push it over the line and meet Vegas expectations. Tennessee, 2-2 in their last 4. 3 road games in their last 4. Back home, home turf, ready to eat. And we got, as I mentioned, intersecting zeros. After a team in Tennessee shits the bed and has a bunch of turnovers, they're 9-0 at home. Shits the bed means we're buying low. Turnovers means they were sloppy. The home factor, home cooking's good. They're comfortable. They got their sight lines. Offense gets back in a groove, and they're not just winning. They're busting teams up by 25 points a game. Busting teams up. Punching them in the mouth. The other side of things here, Mississippi State. When they're in the dog role, they don't traditionally perform well. Now, they're not covering, as we talked about. When they get a total that's over 137, and they scored more than 79 points as a favorite, they're 0-9 that next day in the dog roll. Why? Because Vegas is pricing them too high. The books are pricing them too high. You're selling up. Now, I know they didn't cover, but they scored a bunch of points, and now they're going to back it up and do it again? And the answer is no. 0-9 in the dog spot. Not only are they losing, they're getting busted up by 19 points on average a game. By 19 points. We have intersecting zeros, both with margins in the 20s. Rested dogs versus ranked opponents haven't done well either. When you're coming off a game that was decided by less than 3 points. Eight and 29. The rested dog against the ranked opponent in a tight battle. Folks don't know how to respond and react to that tight battle. All signs point to Tennessee. Love the fact that there isn't any line movement out there as well with all that cash coming in. I mean, these are the spots that you got to salivate for. You got to get ready. Get ready, get set, let's go. Trying to put on this show. What you guys got going on? What you got going on? See what's going on. I love you guys sharing the plays in the chat. Philly Eagle Flyers. He's on the Caps money line. Like it. Sir Mackey says Seton Hall blows out Marquette. That game probably goes under. That would be my guess. Jerry Davis's Draisaitl should be a play. Sure. Yeah. Nunya business play of the day. You know what's funny, Nunya? I jumped in on this one as well. High total, 75.5. Moved to 76.5 at some books. I like that spot too, but I like the 8. I'll take the chalk, or I'll lay the chalk and whatever. Whatever you do with the chalk, I'm doing it. Okay. We got 2 more games here in college hoops. Let's pick up this pace a little bit, huh? Just because it's cold outside and I'm moving slow doesn't mean we have to slow things down here. Virginia, it's an under team in college basketball. We know it. They're coming back home. Cincinnati's an under team in college basketball, believe it or not. Now, they got some trends that point to the over. I don't like that line's not moving. 49% of the bets and 59% of the cash are on Cincinnati. Plus 1.5. It hasn't moved. Tricky. Duquesne lines come down from 4.5 to 3s. 55% of the bets and 63% of the cash. Duquesne has come down. Home dog. Midweek home dogs seems like a great spot in mid-major conferences to me. Belmont and Bradley. It's a reverse line movement spot, or I'd be on Belmont. Plus 2.5's gone to plus 3. 88% of the bets and 87% of the cash on Belmont. Belmont's in a must-win, not a must-win, but they are in a should-win situation statistically with the trends. I like the over. And you got reverse line movement, 153.5 to 155.5 and 156.5 now. And you have 55% of the bets and 61% of the cash on the under. It's going over. Should be a red flag to under bettors. Marquette Seton Hall, big under trend for Marquette, but we've got reverse line movement. We've got this number, well, not reverse, but it's gone from 134.5 to 138.5. 70% of the bets, 71% of the cash on the over. Correlated with the cash coming in, but my trends showed me that this is an under spot. So it'll be interesting to see, but that's why I ultimately didn't attack that game. I'll attack Indiana State and Illinois State, though. How about that? We'll jump in. You know we got some numbers for this one. And what do we have? 7.5s are moving down to 6.5s. Why? Because the public likes a road dog. 75, although in this case it's reverse line movement. 75% of the bets and 69% of the cash are on Illinois State. It's gone from 7.5 to 6.5s. Late movement, though. It really wasn't doing much earlier today. All afternoon, it was kind of just sitting around 7 and 7.5s. So some later action, and it makes sense. It's an 8 p.m. game. What I like about these games, though, look at this ticket count. 3,009. The UCF Iowa State games got 10,000. So when you do see that this big money's coming in, but they just started dropping the number, maybe it does say this is an Indiana State spot. I looked at the total. 71% of the bets and 71% of the cash are on the under. Hasn't moved. Staying pat. 9 and 10 Indiana State, 11 and 8 Illinois State. Battle of the states. Battle, literally right next to each other. Battling up out there. And Illinois State finds themselves off a big dub. They just took down Missouri State. 74-68. They've gone under 3 straight times. They've also played 2 of their last 3 games at home. So they'll have game number 3 at home and their last 4. I always point those out because sometimes I think that's, start getting a 4, especially when you get to 5. You want to start ducking those guys and going the other way. Indiana State just got busted up by Drake. 71-53. They were expected to lose, but it went under. Important to know, it went under. Why do I mention that? Well, when we have Indiana State sitting here in the dog roll, they love to go over the number. They surprise expectations of bettors, gamblers, of Vegas. 9-1 in the underdog roll to the over. Play very well in the underdog roll. But ultimately for me, as I was looking at this one here, we got intersecting zeros again. Love to have those intersectors. Illinois State, they get less than 30 field goals and shot less than 40% from three the previous game. They're 9-0 to the over. That's the buy low. They shit the bed. They shot like shit. They didn't perform. Not only are they going over, but you know the deal. We got to look at some margins. 17.3 points per game. They're going over the total. It's healthy. Super. It's almost as healthy as that Tennessee. And then we have Indiana State. 8-0 to the over. When the total's greater than a 142.5. And they scored less than 67 points the previous game. Let's analyze it. Less than 67 points means they didn't perform. And then Vegas comes back and sets a big number. Probably in part because we know that when Indiana's in that dog roll, they're 9-1 to the over. So you scored low, and Vegas expects a lot of scoring. It goes over. It's 8-0 to the over. And again, the margin, important for us, 15.3 points per game to the over. Healthy numbers to cash this Indiana-Illinois State spot to the over. I'm in on it. I love it. I got 153.5, so shop around. Do your due diligence. Shouldn't matter. I mean, we're talking 15 and 20-point margins in these spots. It shouldn't matter. But Jerry Davis on the Illinois over. I like it. Let's go. There's coin. Giving some action out there. Svitolina. Plus 175 in women's tennis. Yeah, I was looking at some women's tennis today. Tech B teased Tennessee and Purdue. Jerry Davis got Mississippi State plus 14 and under 147.5. Okay. Irish King says Florida minus 1.5. That's too easy. That game might go over. The game had some over looks to it. Nunya says freezing day today. Deliver the mahogany doors to these two mansions. Oh, jeez. That sounds big. All right, let me rifle through these things so we can get you guys up out of here, get you doing whatever it is you got to do tonight. And we got Missouri and Texas. 92% of the bets and 90% of the cash love their public road dog. But Vegas don't care. 2.5's gone to 3. Texas at home. 147.5 has only started moving what seems to me to be recently to the over. So you have 78% of the bets and 78% of the cash on the over. Starting to see a little bit of change. And this is the suspect spot of the day. You got a team that's rolling out here in Missouri State, or Missouri Tigers, 15-3. Texas Longhorns, 12-6. Yet Texas is coming in here opened as a favorite. You know we look for these spots. Why is it mismatched? What the hell's happening? And furthermore, add insult to injury. I mean, look at what we got. Texas coming off of getting busted up by Florida. They had 2 straight road games. They had Oklahoma. They beat them 77-73. They get trounced by Florida, 84-60. Now, they weren't supposed to win that game, but they certainly weren't supposed to lose like that either. 11.5-point spread. They got busted up. Hang on one second. Bear with me. Bear with me for 1 second. Uno second. 4. Whoops. Realized I forgot to do something. And we don't have the luxury of time to wait. So I gotta get it in. Just bear with me. Okay. Okay. Texas, Missouri, big spots coming back here, trying to figure out who they are, what they're doing, where they're going, and how it's all going to shift together. Texas is 10-8 against the spread. Not bad. Missouri Tigers, 10-8 against the spread. Not bad. Battle. I think this is that opportunity. This one's just more of the leveraging my eyeballs, I guess, right? This is more of the art than the science behind it. I mean, if you've got a 4-1 team in Missouri that's ranked number 22nd nationally, and you got a 1-4 team in Texas in the SEC, why are they getting them points? Furthermore, as we look through this thing, and we see that these boys have been on a hell of a winning streak. Now, the big thing for me when it comes to Missouri, what I just say about the 5. When you start to get to a 5 spot, we like to start to take advantage of those things here. And we got 4 straight wins for this Missouri Tigers team, and yet they still opened as a dog. That's the red flag. They got Ole Miss on deck next. They got ranked games galore. And then here's Texas in this ugly, awkward little spot. Ole Miss is ranked 16. Mississippi State's ranked 14. Tennessee's ranked 6. Texas A&M's ranked 13. And yet here's Texas coming in as the tricky spot of the day, the line trap of the day, in my opinion, because they're up in as a favorite. And they've been losing. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. I think you get everything Texas got tonight. I think this is a good spot for us to get paid with this Texas team. And the number tells you everything you need to know about this one here. -2.5. You know, I looked at this calculation. Seemed like it made sense with the nickel plan. I was seeing the money lines earlier today were priced at around -150s. And yet -2.5 is like -105. So I thought that was a good opportunity to take the 2.5. Now we're starting to see 3s as well. So we're catching this line movement right where we want to. Where do we want to nail this thing? And let's go to the NBA. Just quick. I'll give you guys 2 plays I got for the NBA. And we'll get up out of here. Put the bow on the show. I told you already my thoughts on this NBA card. I don't like it. The Magic and the Raptors are a spot that I'm going to attack here. Every trend in the world's telling you to take the Magic. Yet here we go. This line opened at -3.5. It's dropped to 1.5. And you have 61% of the bets and 60% of the cash on the Magic. Then you look at the total. 80% of the bets and 78% of the cash have gone to the over. Yet the numbers come down from 215.5 to 212.5. What's going on? Well, you got first line movement galore. It's a tricky spot. And when we talked about this before, when the books don't necessarily know what's going on when they put a 2 on the thing, you got to try to pick a line in the sand here. I like the home team. Quirky little number. Look, the Magic aren't playing right. They're injured. Fucking mash unit across the board. Wagner's still out. Howard, Suggs. Cole Anthony's questionable. Jonathan Isaac's questionable. Gary Harris, doubtful. And you still got pretty much everybody ready to roll for Toronto. In fact, what do we know? RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, our guy. Team I want to be invested in here. Banchero's going to be in. We know that. He's been back for a few days now, though, and it's not like it's breaking news. And yet here's this line opening up at 1.5. What I'll tell you in the way I attacked this one here is I had to leverage 2 things. Not really intersecting zeros, but when the books aren't sure what kind of Orlando team's going to show up, meaning they're in that 2-ish range, +2 or -2. We talked about this the other day. That's where the books don't really know who's going to win. It's not Orlando. When they're after a home game and they're on the road, and the line's between the 3s, they're 0-9 against the spread. So I was telling you, all my trends were saying, you got to consider there's counter trends out there. This one just seemed pretty simple. I don't mind. Books don't know who's going to win, and it's not Orlando. Orlando doesn't show up. Then you look at the total on the road, 17-0 to the under after a home loss and less than 3 days rest. So the only prudent thing I thought to do with this nobody knows what's going to happen spot is take the +2 and take the under 212.5. And I took it at +261. Books don't know what's going to happen. We've got the Sports Almanac telling us this is what's going to happen. And we're getting the Raptors who just came off an over. So we get that buy low opportunity. And then last but not least, I'm going to go into this Denver game for you guys and girls. 76ers and the Nuggets. slim pickings for me today in the NBA. I'm also trying to be a little bit more cautious with the NBA because I've been dominating college basketball and hockey, and fucking NBA just gets me. So the 76ers and the Nuggets, and I wasn't like that just 2 weeks ago. I was like, I've been doing well in the NBA. As soon as you say that, 10.5. I don't know if you guys believe that kind of shit as I do, but I seem to notice it. And I'm superstitious. So 10.5 to 12.5 is the line. It's gone with 62% of the bets and 60% of the cash on the Nuggets. Then you got 229.5 as the back number. It's moved to 231. And you have 80% of the bets and 79% of the cash expecting to see points. It's moved up. The money's coming in. It's the shit show extravaganza that nobody wants to see. You got Denver at home laying a boatload of points. And they're winning. They are just coming off of that weird schedule situation where 4 of their last 5 games have been on the road. And the Sixers just can't win. Lost. 104-99 to Orlando. 118-102 to OKC. 125-119. I mean, they're not even covering in these games. They're just not close. They're just not close. Embiid's still out. Kyle Lowry's out. Paul George is questionable. I think he'll play. Jared McCann, obviously the TikToker, fucked his knee up, probably TikToking, put some ice on, and then went to practice. And the Nuggets, for the most part, are going to be ready to roll. So I attacked this thing in the most cheapish way I could figure out to do it. I told you there's a couple guys I like the ladder tonight. Michael Porter Jr. is one of them. I slapped his rebounds out there. He's averaging 6.5 a game. He's got 8 or more in 4 of his last 9. 10 rebounds in 2 of his last 9. And he's playing near the rim. He's a double-double player. I like the ladder this dude. He's a fucking monster. You know, what's the formula we look for? We want minutes. We want guy that's averaging with the number below his average. 6.5 is his average. He's down to 5.5. He's a big dude. Washington Wizards. I don't know where I was going to go with the Washington Wizards here, but I know from an overall perspective, he went out there and trounced them boys as well. So I think it's a good opportunity to take his rebounds. And then I wrote some numbers down on the ladder. Because if you look at his double-double number, to me, that kind of precipitates the reason to get involved with this number the way it is right here. Shit. His ladder numbers. 7+, he's averaging 6.5. 7+ is plus 140. 9+, plus 425. 10+. Plus 700. Why getting involved in going up that ladder? Well, because he's a double-double monster. And he's not getting it by way of, it's going to be points and it's going to be rebounds if he's getting a double-double. Period. End of story. Bookmark it. Write it down. You can catch his double-double at plus 800. Or you can just take his 10+ rebounds at plus 800. Seems like an easy question to me. But at the same time, another guy I look at is Braun. Look at Christian Braun. I mean, someone's got to score for the Sixers. They're not going to score 0. This dude's 10.5 point line is minus 125. He's the guy, excuse me. Told you I was running around like crazy today. He's got the double-double in Denver's most recent game. So this guy's double-double number is plus 1,700. His points are 10.5. You can ladder up as over 15.5 points at plus 325. He's averaging 13.8 points a game. Nationally televised TNT spot should show up. And because they'll probably be kicking the shit out of the Sixers, he'll be getting some of them garbage minutes in the second half of this game. So lots of ways to go out there and get some plus money on this thing. I simplified it. Just give me the Nuggets to win. Give me Michael Porter Jr. to get over his average number of, not even his average number, and it's plus 108. Do they go out there and cover 12.5? Is it a backdoor situation that fucks everybody over? I think so, probably. But I'm not going to get involved in it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to take it just like this with a plus 108 and see what the hell happens. Sir Mackey says Caldwell Pope 2+ steals. Ah, man, I had his over 1.5 the other night. He only got 1. Scumbag got me. Rick J likes Kuzma over 16.5 points. Sir Mackey says college is money. Let's go. You wanted to add something to that Raptor spot, I would consider Scotty Barnes under assists. Bo Jackson says Raptors wearing them purple jerseys tonight. It's a retro night. I like that spot with the under. I like that a lot. Shut the grandma in the house. Chris Sala says Missouri plus 2.5. Nope. Sir Rex, are you going live for the Royal Rumble? I'm not going. I'm not a wrestling guy, but I'll tell you what, we're going live tomorrow. Go live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Probably about 2:30 to 2:45 for the big Champions League card. Big games out there. Lots of spots. We'll have plenty of plays for you guys in the afternoon. Shout out to Grandma. Gifted a slew of sports money memberships. Gifts one and then follows it back up with a 5-pack. 6 sports money memberships from Grandma's Horse Racing. Grandma, we love you. Thank you for being a part of our community. Blessing our action. Getting us positive vibes. Moving in the right direction. Hey, speaking of right direction, you guys, coming off that big 6-2. Grandma says, let's grow this team. Grandma, respect and appreciate you taking the time to come here and spend not just the time and even gifting the sports money membership. We love all of that. We are listener supported, as you know, but man, I got myself some personalized Grandma's Horse Racing shot glasses on top of that. Grandma, you are a gem, a diamond in the rough, maybe. But we appreciate you. We love you that you are helping us build this community. And I respect all you guys taking the time to get in here, rock with us. Make sure you do what you got to do on the way out the door. That is hit the thumbs up button. And we'll be back. We'll get to work again. Big day tomorrow. The work never ends here. We'll get these bets in. We'll sift through them and see how they cash or don't for us. And then we will be back tomorrow for the big live stream. In the meantime, you can find Ramon Scott running so hot. 9 a.m. He'll be popping out there for you guys doing the morning steam. So check him out as well. Good luck to everybody with your bets. I heard somebody said they want the outro. I'll give you guys the outro here. Shout out to Jay Peasy. Put this outro song together for us. And then I went to the studio and had to put the graphics in there to make it work. So appreciate you, Jay Peasy. Appreciate all you guys rocking with us tonight. Good luck with your bets. We'll see you again tomorrow here at Sports Money Network. Appreciate you guys. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Rain, sleet, or snow. Pregaming is good to go.
Snow, curtains blow, flow, fuck all you haters. Fuck making big shoes and best simulators. Fuck cashing in, all we wanna do is win. Put the juice in the gin, now it's time to begin. Fuck the books, they can take it on the chin. Surrendering dividends, don't fuck with Ronnie Cam. The show starts with capping and ends with them slapping and stacking cash and boatloads. They won't know what happens. It's pre-gaming and others, they seem lame. Like Abel meeting Cain, a bullet to the brain. We don't give a fuck like Kiki said. We ain't playing. We ain't game, but we ain't playing.
I'm back and I'm joined with my guy. Oh, we got a fight. Get a fight. Get a fight.